Class 11 students, good morning. Already we have seen the consumer equilibrium, consumer behavior, no? Okay, the first part we have seen, that is called as the law of diminishing marginal utility. What the theory says, when we consume more and more units of the same commodity, one after another without time interval, utility diminishes. This was framed or developed by Professor Alfred Marshall. Okay, in that way we have seen. The second part of the consumer behavior, consumer equilibrium, is nothing but the indifference curve analysis. What is that? Indifference curve analysis. Already I told you the law of diminishing marginal utility, it comes under the cardinal approach. But here the indifference curve analysis, it comes under the, otherwise the other name of it, it is called as the ordinal approach. Who gave this theory? Professor J.R. Hicks. Already we have seen. So in the Alfred Marshall theory, the satisfaction or the utility is measured in a quantitative way, in a numerical terms or in numbers. But J.R. Hicks, he says, it is not possible to measure the utility or the satisfaction in a quantitative way. He says we can measure the utility or the satisfaction in a qualitative way. That's a major difference. In a qualitative way, we can measure the satisfaction. So, and how he measures the utility? By grading or ranking. That's a major difference of the Alfred Marshall's theory as well as the indifference curve analysis of the J.R. Hicks theory. Is it clear? Okay. So, in what way he says about the theory, J.R. Hicks theory, that is nothing but the indifference curve analysis. First of all, we must know what is called as the indifference curve. So, the indifference curve is a curve will help you to measure human satisfaction in quantitatively. So, at the same time, the meaning of it, indifference curve is a curve that represents all the combinations that give the same level of satisfaction to the consumers. This is called as the indifference curve. The curve, it shows the equal level of satisfaction when we are purchasing two commodities at the same time. Is it clear? This is called as the indifference curve, the meaning of it. Okay. In this thing, so how with the help of indifference curve we can derive the consumer equilibrium? We need one more tool, that is nothing but the budget line. With the help of budget line only, we can draw the indifference curve. Okay. Then before that we have to see what are the properties of the indifference curve. What are the properties or the features of indifference curves? First one is the indifference curve, it slopes downwards from left to right. Second one is it is parallel to each other. So there is no chance for the intersection of the curves. The third one is it is convex to the origin. The fourth one is the higher indifference curve shows the higher level of satisfaction. Higher level of satisfaction. It's a very important question. So what are the features are the properties of indifference curve. It slopes downwards from left to right, parallel to each other, so there is no chance for the intersection of the curves, and it is convex to the origin. The last one is the higher indifference curve, shows the higher level of satisfaction. Okay, next one is the what is called how can we derive the consumer equilibrium? Before that, what is called as a budget line? What is called as a budget line? So the budget line shows the combinations of goods that can be afforded with the current income. This is called as the budget income. So we have, because the resources are in a scarce manner, if you take the money also, so within the whatever money we have to buy 2 commodities. So money is constant in this thing. We have to purchase 2 commodities. If you want to buy 1 commodity more, other commodity has to be sacrificed. This is called as the marginal rate of substitution. This is called as the marginal rate of substitution. On the basis of the marginal rate of substitution only, Professor Hicks, he developed the indifference curve analysis. Now we will see where the consumer, he gets the consumer equilibrium. Okay, come to the diagram. Diagram, give much importance to the diagram, otherwise the diagram, it speaks a lot. If it is not clear, we cannot explain properly. So in the y-axis we will measure good y, in the x-axis we will measure good x. So now we have to draw the budget line. So A, B is the budget line. Okay, how to draw the indifference curves? IC1, IC2, IC3. So where the consumer is getting the equilibrium, all 3 curves are indifference curves. So in this place only, the consumer is getting that is a equilibrium. That means he maintains the satisfaction in both the commodities. Whatever amount of goods he will purchase, but he maintains the equal level of satisfaction we can derive with the help of the diagram. At point E, the consumer is getting the equilibrium. So he can purchase ON level of good Y and OT level of good X. He is purchasing. When he purchases both, he gets the dissatisfaction. So what is the condition behind it? In order to get the consumer equilibrium, see the particular IC curve tangent to the budget line. Here the IC2 tangent to the budget line A and B at point E, the consumer is getting the equilibrium. Children, it's a very important question. Study well. Thank you.